Hey all, I wanted to share a little bit about some new income-driven repayment options coming down the pipeline that could be coming in as soon as a couple weeks. This is kind of like what's old is new again because they're new options, but they are kind of previously existing as well. So specifically what I mean by this is there's these plans called pay-as-you-earn. There's also something called income contingent repayment, pay and ICR. These are two very important plans for the simple reason that they probably will strike down the save plan. And when and if they strike down the save plan, that is the only plan that has no cap on what you'd have to pay. It's just 10% of your discretionary income with no cap. If you're making $1 million a year, you'd pay, a huge amount, right? So unlike, that plan, there's other plans out there like IDR that has a payment cap where if you have a payment that is above the standard 10-year plan, it's about 1% of your balance, give or take. If your payment would be under this income-based repayment formula, IBR, if it's too high, if it's above that standard 10-year plan, then you technically don't qualify to sign up for IBR. Why does that matter, right? Because 8 million people are on the save plan forbearance. So if 8 million people are on the save plan forbearance, all those people will have to be new applicants into a new income-driven repayment plan, right? And in particular, if it's IBR, then you're having to switch out of a plan that was created from this ICR statute onto this income-based repayment plan. And a lot of people haven't recertified income since like March 2020, from the beginning of the pandemic, right? So a lot of people are not even going to be able to switch at all because they won't have something called a partial financial hardship, which means a lot of people that are really close to getting forgiveness would lose the ability to get forgiveness. And then it would be like too late. You wouldn't be able to get access to anything. And so what the Biden administration is doing is they're reopening the pay and the ICR plans, at least that's their plan. And they're saying instead of sunsetting them as of July 2024, which is what they've already done, they're changing the date and basically saying, how about July 2027? And they're trying to rush this through, not doing negotiated rulemaking. They're just trying to push it out the door as fast as they can so that people can access a plan that they can use to get forgiveness on. So here's an example, right? So let's say you have a physician making $300,000 a year who has $150,000 of loans, and she only has 5 months of repayment left. Well, if she had to sign up for IBR because SAVE gets repealed, she could not access it at all. She would not be able to get forgiveness, even though she's only got 5 months of payments left. However, if they make the ICR plan come back, then she could sign up for the ICR plan. That's 20% of your income, or a cap of what's basically the standard 12-year plan with an income-sensitive factor that for most people is 2. So it works out to like a 6-year standard plan, right? So if you have a standard 6-year plan as an option, but you only have to do it for 5 months, that can mean the difference of paying back $150,000 in principal and interest, or paying $2,500 for maybe only like 5 months and then being done, right? So I think that's why they're bringing back ICR, is for high income people that are really close to loan forgiveness. For pay, the reason they're bringing that back is because of the basically the reality that a lot of people don't qualify for what's called new IBR. So new IBR is you have to borrow for the first time after 2014, and that's basically the same thing as pay, but a lot of people don't qualify for it. So a lot more people will have access to loan forgiveness if they do if they give access to pay again, because people will be switching en masse out of the SAVE plan when this thing gets repealed. And so Biden administration is already kind of telegraphing they know this is going to happen. They know the SAVE plan is toast, either through Trump's executive actions or through the courts, right? So they are trying to create these new income-driven repayment options so that people have options to apply for. Now, one thing that I can't understand is, why there are so many backlogged applications at Department of Education. There's so many backlogged applications just waiting around, and it's at the servicers, really. And Department of Ed is intentionally telling them not to certify anything. Maybe it's because they're trying to roll out this plan to allow people to apply for pay and ICR, literally within a couple of weeks. Hopefully that's the reason, but we have to wait and see kind of what happens, with that. And the other thing I'd say about income-driven repayment is a lot of people have not modeled their payment amounts in many years, right? So if you want to take a look at all of the potential options for income-driven repayment that are that could be out there if SAVE gets tossed, just comment IDR in the comments. So income-driven repayment. So put IDR in the comments if you want to get our latest calculators that show you exactly what the payments would be under all the different scenarios, and that show you what your payments might be if the SAVE plan gets tossed. So that's just, again, comment IDR in the comments. If you have also any questions about any of this, about pay and ICR getting reopened, you can also put it in the comments as well. Deeply appreciate you following Student Loan Planner, and just keep being patient, folks. We'll get more information, I think, with this stuff very soon.